Hey all, Peyton Rain here with another In the Crosshairs video, and today I'm looking at this photo right here. Now this photo was put up on Twitter by the Twitter account Primaris Lieutenant. And obviously it's supposed to be kind of funny, like, haha, here's another Primaris Lieutenant, because we keep releasing a ton of them. So here, here's me in my new rad new Phobos armor, and then, oh, here's some other stuff that isn't Primaris Lieutenants, who cares? So, obviously, we get a nice clear picture of this model that we've kind of gotten a decent look at before, but definitely nothing quite as clear or up close as this. Now, in the background, we can definitely still see we've got what looks to me to be pretty clear that these are the Inceptors. I'm sorry, not Inceptors, the Infiltrators. Probably the Infiltrator multi-part kit. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that we can see in this picture. There might be another one behind here, so there could be 8 in this picture. Maybe a few more cut out for a full squad of 10, potentially. I'm not sure, but obviously I definitely feel like that's what this is. The Infiltrators, they have kind of a similar kind of look like a pose. And then we got probably the Sergeant right here with the red helmet. And I'm not sure like what other kind of weapon options they might have from what we saw already from the Apocalypse data sheets that came out. There were no additional options, but there was for the Eliminators with the last Fusils, which over here is what I believe these are. This is definitely have that crouching kind of pose, looks like kind of a cloak here. So I believe this, and then probably this right here is another Eliminator. So that there tells me that this is probably a 10-man squad, and that they just kind of cropped this out because you can definitely tell there's another model here that's cropped out. Then we have this smaller tank transport looking thing, potentially transport in the back, but it's definitely, most certainly, some kind of a Rhino smaller transport is my guess in the back. And then we have this new, looks like a less armored dreadnought, probably some kind of like a fast attack or a deep striking or some kind of a crazy quick little dreadnought thing here. And then this here looks to me to be the lieutenant, or I'm sorry, I'm jumbling my words all over. Not the lieutenant, the librarian from the Shadow Spear set. So we may get this released by itself, so you don't have to get the Shadow Spear set to get the I almost said again, the librarian. It just seems to have a similar pose with like his sword hand that kind of comes out this way. And then this is probably his hand coming up in front here where he does kind of like the focused mind power thing. Plus, there's kind of that mix of brown. Like that could just be intentional blurring on purpose to make it look like that. But his hands were kind of like that brown gloved hand originally. So I think that might be what we're seeing here. Now, the other big question though is if this is indeed the librarian, then is this a librarian? A lot of people I've seen have said that they believe it's a librarian. I'm not so certain or sold on that. It definitely looks like what we can see here is a banner, and then we have some kind of a staff looking thing here. I think the staff is why a lot of people are assuming it's a librarian, and then also it looks like to be kind of blue armor, but again, because they're painted as ultramarines, it's hard to say if that's a librarian blue or an ultramarine blue. Um, but yeah, so not too certain yet what this is exactly. Um, Again, we kind of have a banner here. So someone was saying they're thinking it's the Tigerius, I believe is his name, the chief librarian made into a Primaris Marine. Maybe I don't know. I want to say no, um, just because I don't want to agree with that. uh, I was, I don't know. There's one other model that was in the other um, like preview that we're not seeing here that I am pretty sure or I'm hoping it was like a chaplain, just so I can be like, oh, I was right. I was the first to call it. you know. Um, but no, like I don't see that one, and I definitely don't think it's this one. This one though, I do recall was in the kind of in the background, like actually behind the model that I was thinking was potentially a chaplain in Phobos armor. And this model is where I was kind of thinking maybe they're doing a standalone ancient, for the Primaris, since the only way to get an ancient currently is out of the Dark Imperium set. But I don't know. Now seeing that it looks like that standard is actually like kind of like on its, on his backpack. It's probably not an ancient. It does, because of the staff, look so much like it could potentially be a librarian. But I feel like we've already gotten two versions of the librarian, and this other model right here looks so much like it could be the librarian of Phobos armor. I just can't see why they would be releasing a standalone Phobos librarian and then a new one, unless this is in fact Tigurius. So, yeah. So I think that, that's about it. What I can see here, if I can get this thing to zoom in a little bit more here. Um, yeah, it definitely doesn't make it any better necessarily. It's definitely a lot blurrier still, but it just, again, it leads me to believe these are definitely infiltrators. These are most certainly the eliminators with the last fusils. Again, I believe this is the, that librarian. This here. The other thing that trips me with this is like the posing of it. Like, I'm sure it probably has like some kind of like a robe or something coming down here, but just gives it such this weird kind of gap thing. And then like this here is another kind of interesting kind of color going on here that kind of blocks potentially part of the body. So it's kind of like trying to guess, like, if this is the outline here. Kind of like, what's this other arm doing? What is this? Is this part of the chest, or is his arm holding some kind of a shield thing or something here? Because we got the other arm here, and then obviously holding up some kind of a staff, and then we have this standard thing, very I don't know, kind of Japanese samurai-esque looking flag. It looks almost like this is the staff here, and then you have the flag down, but. Maybe it's the Roman style kind of cross here, and it's just kind of off to the side a little bit. I'm not sure what is going on here. Again, this dreadnought, I just want to see, we've got these antenna and everything. It just really leads me to believe, at the very least, if we don't get deep striking, we're going to have a very fast moving dreadnought that can move a considerable amount of distance, and we'll have some sort of like that deep strike, whatever they call that scramblers thing that the infiltrators have. Probably be able to do some kind of scrambling, and then it has this cool launchers. I'd like to see some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of a phase or smoke grenade type of thing that this thing can shoot, as well as doing other stuff. So it cannot, instead of like sacrificing shooting, it can still like shoot like some kind of a smoke grenade or obscuring type of thing, and cause a minus to hit or something. I could also see this would be pretty cool if it was some kind of a launcher that it could shoot at other friendly units within a certain distance to obscure them. That would be pretty dope, for sure. So, all right, well, I guess I'll wrap this one up pretty quick and simple. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think this is? What do you think we got coming? Obviously, we know we got a dreadnought of some kind and some kind of a tank, whether it's a transport or some other kind of support tank of some kind. And then obviously I'm 100% these are infiltrators. We know they're coming with the multi-part, and that the data sheets from Apocalypse had those last fusils on there. Unless you have any other ideas what these might be, I'm pretty positive these are infiltrators. But these kind of right now are the two big mysteries. I definitely think this is the librarian from Shadowspear, but this one being now kind of the new thing. Like, what in the world is this? So, all right, well, let me know down in the comments below, and we'll get that conversation going, see what everybody thinks. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, y'all, Paint Marine here, coming back at you in this same video. So the previous video I made about the Twitter photo that was released, I made yesterday, and then obviously now they've released another one. So I wanted to dive into this one and kind of combine the videos into one big video. So as you're listening to this, you may, although you can't see myself, you may also hear two other kind of guest announcers in a way. They're waving right now, although you can't see them. My little daughter, my little 1-year-old, and then my little 3-year-old son is here. So you may hear them kind of in the background and maybe putting their 2 cents in every now and again. But this video here obviously was released. So this here, I think, obviously, to me, confirms we will be seeing something of new Primaris this week, as far as this coming Saturday is usually when they do kind of a big reveal. So these teases leading up to it, I think we're going to see pretty big. So along with that, again in the background we can see what's most definitely the new Dreadnought. We can see this new tank over here. Again, what I'm pretty sure here is the Infiltrators, and obviously we have this Phobos Lieutenant in the front. But then over here we have that Librarian from the Shadow Spear. We have the Librarian from the Shadow Spear set that, like I was saying in the other picture, I was pretty sure that that was him. Now I think this pretty much, for sure, to me at least, confirms it. So there's not like a whole lot more we can really see in this picture, except we have something going on right here. Because this is kind of gray right here, it looks like another gray. I think we've got some Eliminators sitting right here with probably the new last Fusel guns. And that's, because I'm pretty positive, because you got the blue and then they do that kind of that gray camouflage for the Eliminators. That's why I'm pretty sure that's what this is here. But then the next kind of thing we have going on is just to the right of them. We have something kind of hanging out here. Now this could potentially be another Eliminator, potentially. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, this looks like maybe right here this could be part of a cloak of some kind. But I'm not entirely sure. But this could be one of those other, like I said, I believe there's two other characters I'm pretty positive we haven't gotten a good look at, that we kind of seen, like one that has like that standard kind of thing and that staff, which this is definitely not that. It could be the other model, which if it is that other model, then this being a closer up.
This guy.
Oh yeah, but we already talked. Yeah, he was wondering about this guy right here, the lieutenant in the front. Yeah, that's a new scary lieutenant looking guy. What's his face look like? Does it look like a skeleton?
Yeah, a skeleton.
Yeah, so so if this is that other one, then it probably most likely debunks my theory that we're maybe getting a Phobos chaplain, because this is definitely blue armor, but it could be another Eliminator potential, because there is a little bit of gray going on here, so it could just be like the Eliminator Sergeant or something going on. I'm not sure. So I definitely, again, I think this confirms once again that we're getting the multi-part Eliminators, multi-part Infiltrators, new tank, Dreadnought, the obvious ones, and then definitely it looks like we're going to get that Librarian as a standalone. Then, of course, this new Phobos Lieutenant. So yeah, so that's really, I guess, really kind of about it here. There is potential, though. Like, I'm seeing that there is potentially something standing here in front of the Dreadnought that's kind of, but I don't know. This could just be a trick of my eyes, because this also does kind of look like a gap. So you got like the arm here, kind of a gun. But there's something kind of blue kind of hanging down here. I don't know. It could be just a trick of the light here with my eyes wanting to see something else for sure. I also saw this here. I was like, ooh, is this plasma? Maybe there's something plasma going on here. I don't know. But I definitely think we will see more this coming Saturday. So, again, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to know if anybody else has some other ideas or some look here. I'm definitely been scouring. Like, sometimes we've seen things in the backgrounds of White Dwarfs and stuff. I've looked through the new Blood Ravens White Dwarf, and I haven't really seen anything, at least in my eyes. I don't know if there's other eagle eyes that have seen that sometimes they do put new stuff kind of right in plain sight, or just off of plain sight, I guess you could say. So, yeah, we will have to wait and see, but I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing something for sure, some kind of big reveal this Saturday, so I'm pretty excited about that anyway. So, again, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you haven't already, also check out the...
My favorite color blue.
Okay, you can go ahead.
My favorite color blue.
Yeah, your favorite color is blue?
Yes.
So what color do you like your Space Marines?
Blue.
Blue? Yeah, I know. My son's a little Ultramarine fan.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so... if you haven't already, please check out the Facebook page and take a like there, as I try to share as much as I can there. And again, thank you for all the support and for watching this video. And until next time.
Bye.